Hello, hello. Let me get over there. So we have some, oh boy, this opened up quite a few, huh? Some sad updates today. I know several of you asked last night about the missing teen, and there was nothing to report last night that I saw, but unfortunately today there are some sad updates, and I just want to make sure that my sound is on. I know. Yeah, okay. So this is a body that was discovered near where Camila had the 19-year-old who disappeared on Christmas Eve in Texas. Remember, her mother was just heartbreaking in her pleas for her daughter, to be found. And, well, they haven't made a positive ID on the body, but it's kind of looking like that it's her. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's grab that. Hang on one second. Okay, there's so much that's coming up about other stuff now that just popped in. Okay, but let's go. This is Camila Mendoza Olmos. So there's a body found during the search for her. I want to make sure we have everything right here, but it has not, as far as I've seen, been positively ID'd, though I guess it's suspected. Texas authorities have released dash cam video that shows the last confirmed sighting of 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Olmos. She's been unaccounted for since the morning of Christmas Eve, and she was believed to be in imminent danger. There was a grainy video that was taken on Wild Horse Parkway between Shetland Wind and Caspian Spring in Bexar County, Texas, and it shows a figure alone wearing clothes that are consistent with what Camila was wearing when she went outside her family home just minutes earlier. The video was recorded by a neighbor who happened to be driving to work and had a dash cam. That information was provided by Sheriff Javier Salazar. It was taken just a couple of blocks from her home. Authorities have not ruled out that someone may have taken her after that sighting, and they said they were sharing at that time to see if anybody else had more video. But after that was an update 15 hours ago. Then there was an update about a body found. So let me pull that up. So they have the dash cam, right? Grainy video showed someone consistent with Camila walking with the clothing she had on. They were asking for other video, but then a body was found. The body has not been identified, and an official cause of death has not been determined. But again, Sheriff Javier Salazar said the body was wearing clothing that was very similar to what Camila was wearing when she was last seen. And he said, and I quote, "We hope that we can expedite that process to try to get the community answers." Salazar said the body was found at around 4:45 p.m. local time in a field about 100 yards from Mendoza Olmos' home. That area had previously been checked, but it was searched again because of concerns over the tall grass. He said the body was found by combined teams from the sheriff's office and the FBI. Foul play is not suspected, and there were no indications of self-harm. Adding that Camila had been going through a tough time. Excuse me, there were indications of self-harm. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking to myself, wait, there were, like, I'm thinking I'm really losing it. I'm like, did I read that wrong before? Heard that wrong before? No. There were indications of self-harm. So this is like that Texas, the other Texas, remember that university student that they said died by self-harm, and the mother claimed she did not, right? Well, I don't know what Mrs. Olmos is saying or what she thinks about this, but they say that foul play is not suspected, and there were indications of self-harm, and that Camila had been going through a tough time. Now, there was a statement from the boyfriend a few days ago that said he wasn't going to stop looking for her, right? Okay. Salazar said a firearm was found near her body. Investigators had also been looking for a family member's firearm that was missing. She was last seen on the morning of Christmas Eve. A neighbor's dash cam caught her, and then apparently a doorbell camera also captured her standing next to her car just before 7 a.m. And then I believe at that time they had said that there was something that she looked like she was searching for in the car or something, right? Yeah. Very sad, yeah. Let me just go back to something else for just a minute. Okay. I'll just put up some couple of okay, so let's see, this is her, this is the search off in the background. Let me grab this. So I know that her mother said they had slept together the night before. She had got up. She thought her daughter was going for a walk, right? And then she just didn't return. So let's see what else we can see. Her best friend, her childhood best friend, Camila Estrella, said the pair were on the phone Tuesday, that was the night before Christmas Eve, to make plans to go dress shopping and to look for an outfit for Estrella's boyfriend's family event. She said, "Bye, Cammy, I love you. This is so random, we never expected this." She was wearing baby blue pajama shorts, a black hoodie, and white shoes when she was captured on a video outside the house that she was rummaging through her car before that video cut off. The disappearance left the community shaken. The family was desperate to find the Northwest Vista Community College students. Her aunt, Nancy, Olmos said this was not a Christmas for us. It is a nightmare. She added that relatives who had gone out of town for the holidays quickly returned to help find her. Her mother, Rosario, woke Wednesday, unable to find her daughter, who typically took an early morning walk. By 9:30 a.m., Rosario almost called her daughter's phone, only to find it on a bed with no battery. The mother then called the police, who arrived with scent tracking dogs, but were unable to find her. Camila was considered possibly endangered at that time. And then, since then, a body's been found, right? And terrible news, even though they don't have a positive identification. The body is wearing clothes that are consistent to what Camila was wearing when she disappeared. And it says no foul play, signs of foul play, but there are signs of that she may have tried to take her own life, self-harm. And there was a firearm by her, and there was a firearm that was missing from the house. So, family member's firearm that was missing. So, yeah, it appears that that's probably going to be the outcome, which is really sad. And then another really sad update, which we're going to go to in a second. I just wanted to go over again what Camila's boyfriend had said. If I can get that. That he vowed to keep searching from her. Nathan Gonzalez. I'm just going to pop his picture up here. Let's see if that's going to work. He spoke to the media on Saturday as he had come out with members of the community to look for, Camila. And he said, let me just get this, they are going through a nightmare of Olmos's family. That's what he said. And he has dated Camila, that he's fully committed to searching for her. He described her as exceptionally loving, and he said he's going to search for her until the moment that she's found. So that's why we're all here, to support the family and be there for them, because not only do they need us right now, but they need the Lord Jesus to be with her and protect Cami, because we know with the Lord that she's going to come back home. She's a very loving person. She's the person that always puts others before herself, and she loves everybody no matter what. And you know, this is just not like her. Like I said, she is a loving person and would have never thought that something like this would happen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you scared the life out of me. Look, what are you doing walking around with a flashlight like that? Oh my gosh, that was scary. Sorry. Okay, so here's some other news about them. He said, I'll be here all day. We've been here for 3 days, going on 4 days straight, and we're not going to stop until we find her. Now, Gonzalez has since dedicated much of his social media presence to happy pictures of them together and flyers asking for people to join searches. But it said that Olmos had recently ended a romantic relationship. The breakup was described as amicable. Police are not currently working on the assumption that her ex is involved in her disappearance. Okay, this was at this time. Okay, this was at Saturday. Gonzalez, however, has not been officially identified by authorities as the subject of that recent breakup. And it's unclear when they were last together. But it doesn't look like he has any involvement in that, because he has answered the detective's questions about their relationship, and any places he believes that she could have vanished to. He was willing to give any information that would bring her home, because at the end of the day, that's what I want, is to bring her home to her family. And sadly, they discovered that a body in a field, I love you, that had been searched before, but there was tall grass. They searched it again. They found the body. The body did not show any signs of foul play, had a firearm near it, appeared to be a self-harm situation. But again, all of that needs to be confirmed, including the identity, even though the body was wearing clothing consistent with that of Camila, right? Okay, let me see where I'm just going to go on the chat. Hello. Oh, let me shut this. Over there, so we have some, oh boy, this opened up quite a few. Shut that off. Why won't that shut? Okay. Hello, A Heart Made Wise. Hi, Rosalita. Hello there, too, Scooter. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, they found her body. I just went over all that. Hopefully you heard that it's not a good update, and we have another not good update, unfortunately. John F. Kennedy's granddaughter, Caroline Kennedy Schlossberg's daughter. Let me get this up here. Hang on a minute. Hold on, let me just change this. Tatiana Schlossberg passed away at the age of 35 after a courageous cancer battle. And if you were with us, I think a couple of weeks ago, I was completely shocked to learn that right after she gave birth to her daughter, her second child, and I believe that was in May of 2024, immediately, and Tatiana is married to a physician. I believe he's a urologist. I'm not mistaken, or he might be. He's a specialist in the medical field. And they said that something was going on, with her, and they needed to check things out right away, and that she either had a very serious form of leukemia, I believe it was, and or something else. And they said, well, no, her husband was saying it can't be that. And ended up, it was the worst possible news for her, but she, vowed to beat this. And she went through a bone marrow transplant. I believe it was one of her siblings that was like a perfect match. And she went into remission, and things looked good, but it wasn't a long remission, and the cancer came back, and then she got an anonymous donor because they thought maybe that would be better, because there's a situation. So they did that, and again, she went into remission, I think, for a very brief period of time, and then it came back again. And I think that, if I'm remembering correctly, was when the doctors told her that, there wasn't much else she could do. Now, you think, the Kennedys and all of their money and all, that's what I mean. It's like, and nothing matters if they could, heal their daughter. And in their case, nothing, they had every resource open to them, right? Every amount of money for any treatment anywhere. And nothing that they can do. So that's just heart-wrenching. And Caroline Kennedy herself just, people say the Kennedys have had so many tragedies, right? But just Caroline's family, okay? Her father is assassinated when she's a little girl. They lost a baby boy, right before that. Then she loses her brother and her sister-in-law, her uncle Bobby. I mean, it's crazy. Now she's lost her daughter at 35, and Her daughter was a very talented journalist, a writer, and if you remember, she said she always wanted to be very good for her mother. She never wanted to bring her mother any more pain. And then she was so conflicted with this horrible disease she had because she said, it was bringing her mother more grief, and it's the last thing she wanted to do. And then the way she spoke about her children, remembering her, and just, I think it just tugs on the heartstrings of any parent, just even thinking of in that situation. And, you have a baby, and it's like that you shouldn't have to, that your worst worry should be, is the baby going to sleep through the night? Does this baby have colic? It shouldn't be if you're going to live or die, right? And it's like, essentially they're robbed of that whole experience of just being able to enjoy their baby and deal with just the regular stresses of having a newborn. They've got to grapple with all of the medical stuff that she had to do. She was in the hospital. She's missing things, in her baby's life, but then to come to find out, like, and to grapple with things like, is her daughter ever going to remember her and stuff? And she wrote very intimately, very openly, to let people know what she was going through. And we went over some of that a few weeks ago, and it's really sad. And I know that Maria Shriver has went out and said things, but let's see, it's just really, really sad. For anyone, but especially their family has just been through so much. Okay, so she was an environmental journalist, the child of Caroline Kennedy Schlossberg. She wrote of her struggle with leukemia in the New Yorker. And one second. She died following a courageous battle with, and it was acute myeloid leukemia. Very sad. See if I can get. Trying to get another picture up there. Just hang on. Bear with me for a second here.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died when he was only 35 years old. We never thought in a million years we'd...
Okay. Ad popped up. Hang on, I'm trying to get this over here. There we go. Let's try to make it full screen, right? Okay. Hang on 1 minute so I can get back to where I was here. Now, that picture right there was taken during the John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Awards ceremony. That was taken on October 29th, 2023. She wrote a very emotional essay in the New Yorker last month, and we did go over portions of that she was diagnosed with a rare mutation of acute myeloid leukemia. And that, again, is, was I said correctly, I stated May 2024 after giving birth to her second child. She wrote in the essay, during the latest clinical trial, my doctor told me that he could keep me alive for a year maybe. And this, I'm quoting her, okay? It says, My first thought was that my kids, whose faces lived permanently on the insides of my eyelids, wouldn't remember me. She said, my son might have a few memories, but he'll probably start confusing them with pictures he sees or stories he hears. I didn't ever really get to take care of my daughter. I couldn't change her diaper or give her a bath or feed her at all because of the risk of infection after my transplants. I was gone for almost half of her first year of life. I don't know who really she thinks I am and whether she will feel or remember when I am gone that I am her mother. It's a horrible thing to have to grapple with for any mother, for any parent. It's just horrendous. She ended that with just trying to live and be with her children. To be in the present is harder than it sounds. She said, so she lets the memories come and go. So many of them are from her childhood. And she tricks herself, she said, thinking that she'll remember this forever. That I'll remember this when I'm dead. Obviously I won't, she says, but since I don't know what death is like, and there's no one to tell me what comes after it, I'll keep pretending. I will keep trying to remember. Well, I hope that has found that she will be able to remember. I hope that she found that it's better than anything she imagines. It's such a sad, unbelievably sad thing. She's survived by her husband, George Morin, their young son and daughter, as well as her parents, Caroline, Kennedy Schlossberg and Ed Schlossberg, and siblings Rose and Jack Schlossberg. One of her relatives, journalist and commentator Maria Shriver, remembered her as valiant, strong, courageous, in a tribute posted on X, saying Tatiana was a great journalist and she used her words to educate others about the earth and how to save it. Tatiana was the light, the humor, the joy. She was smart, wicked smart, as they say, and sassy. She was fun, funny, loving, caring, a perfect daughter, sister, mother, cousin, niece, friend, all of it. It's very sad. She was born May 5th, 1990. And those of you that get the New Yorker, her article there that was published November 22nd, 2025, is called A Battle with My Blood. Really, really sad. Okay, let me see what anybody's saying in there. Hi, Jen Grill. Hi, Super Chat Cat. Yeah. So, yeah. Pretty sad. Yeah. That's devastating. Okay, let me. Let's see what else we have. So there was a failed murder-suicide plot in a Queens, New York home. Mother is in custody after the 15-month-old child. He was, let me see here. Excuse me for a minute. I just want to change the graphic here before we get on the next. The next story. All right. Okay, so this is the area. Oh my gosh, why does that have to be so small? Hang on a minute, guys. I got to change the size of this image. Okay. And this is about a 15-month-old child. He was covered in his mother's blood in Jamaica, Queens, and he has died, and his mother's in police custody. It happened inside a home on the 157th Street in Jamaica, section of Queens, on Monday at around 1:30 p.m. The first scream was a man, and it was a very loud, aggressive scream. And then the second one sounded like a child screaming in fear, and that was said by their neighbor, Fatima Akhtar. Then there was a 911 call about an assault, so the police responded, and when they did, they found a 15-month-old boy, Charlie Ramreka, unconscious and unresponsive, and his 28-year-old mother had slash wounds to her wrists. EMS took the child and the woman to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center. The boy was pronounced dead. The mother was listed in stable condition. A neighbor said, and I quote, "A young child, it's just unfathomable. I'm a single mom of 3 that just moved here in September, and this is unfathomable." Officials said the mother had what it appeared to be self-inflicted slash wounds to her wrists. Another neighbor said, "I think I've seen her. She's usually pretty quiet. She'll speak, but other than that, I don't know her personally." A relative said the boy who died was her brother-in-law's son, and she wasn't sure how the mother was doing. Few details have been released, but officials say the mother is a suspect and is in custody. Police say it's not clear how the baby died. The boy was covered in his mother's blood, leading first responders to initially think he was slashed or stabbed, but there was no blunt force trauma to his body, and the medical examiner will determine his cause of death. A next-door neighbor said he heard a baby crying earlier in the day. "We just heard the crying, the noise." We just heard it in the morning. Police recovered a blade that appeared to be a box cutter at the scene, along with pills. Very sad. Someone feels that's their only option, right? And some struggle so hard to live. Okay. Is this another Texas A&M student that's missing, or what is going on here? It is Sydney Marquez. What is going on in Texas? Okay, let me get a photo here. Hang on, because okay, let's see here. New footage obtained, it says. 24 years old. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just trying to get our image up here. I think I do have to finally get a new computer. I don't think my computer is sadly going to work out. I got it as much of the memory as I could get it, and it's really faltering on me now. It's taking me a very long time to do anything, so I apologize for that. Okay, let's see if we can get that over there. I know that's not the best picture, but okay. So there was new footage obtained. She's described as 5'4", and she's a Texas A&M graduate. Let's see what's going on here. The new footage shows her near a Houston hotel before she vanished. She was last seen in southwest Houston's Chinatown district on December 11th near a shopping center in the 9100 block of Bel Air Boulevard. Her father told News Nation that security footage showed her around 150 yards from a hotel after she traveled from El Paso to Houston. She was going to meet up with a friend. Every indication showed that she was heading back to her hotel, her father said. Her phone's there, her iPad's there, her class ring is there, her clothing is there. There is just no explanation why she didn't make it back to her hotel. Now, according to her father, the new security footage shows Sydney around 150 feet from a hotel he had been staying at. She was trying to get to our hotel, but for some reason or another, she kept going westbound on Harwin Drive. That's the last footage we have of her. Family members said Sydney suffers from mental health issues. She had been off of her medication when she walked away. Police said her car was later found on the city's southwest side near the Chinatown district. Her father said she had been in a diverse area of town and people may be afraid of coming forward due to their immigration status. If you see my daughter, if she's endangered, please don't stay quiet. If you see something, if you know something, please say something. I miss my daughter. She needs to come home. She recently graduated from Texas A&M with a degree in neuroscience. She's described as 5'4", 120 pounds, with short reddish brown hair, wearing glasses, and she has a 4-leaf clover tattoo on her left wrist. Houston police are urging anyone with information to contact them, 832-394-1840, or call EquiSearch, Texas EquiSearch, 281-309-9500. Very sad. Okay. So I'm just trying to see here. Missing who vanished on Christmas. Florida girls, where they found these 2 girls. Let me see. I hope they were, but well, let's see if 13 and a 15-year-old in Wauchula. Paisley and Alina. Hardy County teens are safely located. Oh, thankfully, yes, that's good news. Very good news. So they have been safely located. Wonderful news. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Three Massachusetts residents have been arrested in, what is this going on here? In a robbery at a New England casino. Let's see what that's about. The 3 were charged with robbing a man at knife point in the Twin River hotel room. They robbed him of let's see. So I'm trying to get a picture of them here. There was a picture of all 3. Come on now. This is what I mean about the yikes, this is quite the mugshot. Oh my goodness, come on. Hang on, this is what I mean with the computer. Yeah. Okay. All right, and this image again is way too small. Hang on a second, please. Okay. Let me pull this over. These are the 3. And then that's when you see that this guy, what the heck is with that? What is with that face? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous face. So there's a 3 Massachusetts residents. They were arrested in a violent robbery at a New England casino, it says. It says that they are facing criminal charges in connection with the violent robbery at a popular New England casino. Dominic Sims, 28, of Worcester. And then you have Noshka Machuca, 19, of Marlborough, and Tishwana Tukta, 19, of Boston, were arrested on charges including first-degree robbery and conspiracy charges, and that's according to the Lincoln Police Department in Rhode Island. Officers responding at the robbery at Bally's Twin River Lincoln Casino Resort just before 1:45 a.m. learned that 2 women had conspired to lure a man from the casino floor into a private hotel room. And once he was inside the room, and that's these 2 women right here, but once he was inside the room, he was confronted by this man right here. And then that's Sims, and he allegedly threatened the victim with a knife and robbed him of more than $1,500 in cash. After the incident, the victim was allowed to leave and was instructed not to contact authorities. Sims faces additional weapons and disorderly conduct charges. Machuca faces additional disorderly conduct charge, and there were no other additional information and no additional information of when they would be having their first court date. Okay, so back. Just can't get over that face on that guy. Jake Paul breaks his silence after Anthony Joshua is injured in a fatal car crash. No idea who Anthony Joshua is. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Yeah, this is something. Next, we're going to go to Florida. See if we get this one up here right away. Okay, good. And this is, I believe it's Martha Joe Blake. Make sure that I've got her name right. I don't know why she's hanging up over here. Let's. Right there. 66-year-old woman is behind bars, facing a first-degree murder charge after police say she admitted to ending her elderly mother's life. She claimed it was her 97-year-old mother's dying wish. Martha Joe Blake, Martha, not Martha, Martha, was arrested following the death of her mother, Patricia Blake. She was found deceased in her home on December 26, while Martha Blake initially told investigators her mother died of natural causes related to Parkinson's disease and thyroid issues. A grisly autopsy report prompted a sudden shift in her story. The probable cause affidavit from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office said that sheriff's deputies responded to the Blake residence On the morning after Christmas, Martha, who lived with her mother, claimed that she had last seen her mother the previous night alive. Because Patricia's primary care physician was located in Maine, the death was referred to the Palm Beach County Medical Examiner's Office for a routine investigation. The medical findings, however, quickly turned a death investigation into a homicide case. The medical examiner reported that Patricia Blake's body showed signs of trauma inconsistent with a natural death. Notable findings included a lack of post-mortem blood pooling in the nose, suggesting something had been pressed against her face, along with internal bleeding, petechia in the eyes and mouth, and a fresh fracture in her neck. Oh boy. Investigators reviewed the body camera footage from the initial response, and they noted that Martha had insisted on remaining close to her mother's body. After securing a search warrant for the home, detectives interviewed Martha again. She allegedly waived her rights and provided a detailed account of the events that led up to her mother's death. Martha told the detectives she served as her mother's caregiver for 5 years. She claimed that 18 months prior to this, she and her mother had consulted a doctor in Maine about death with dignity options. The doctor reportedly denied the request because Patricia did not have a terminal illness. According to the affidavit, the mother and daughter later discussed suicide by pill, but lacked medication lethal enough to take care of that. Martha allegedly told police that her mother frequently stated she did not want to live. Police said Martha eventually admitted to taking matters into her own hands to fulfill that request. Martha Jo is currently being held without bond at the Maine Detention Center in West Palm Beach, and she's scheduled to appear in court on January 25th, 2026. Imagine you make it to 66, you kill your 97-year-old mother, and you go to prison. And isn't that insanity? Isn't that insanity, 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 insanity? Oh my goodness. Okay, what happened here? Let's see. Okay, so this is now we're going to San Diego. And you're going to see looks like a Toyota 4Runner was rammed through the window of a home, right? San Diego authorities launched a homicide investigation on Monday. Why? Well, a man allegedly crashed his truck into a Bay Park home that was subsequently set on fire, which killed his estranged wife who was inside. The circumstances surrounding the incident remained murky. As the investigators began interviewing witnesses along with family members, detectives can't say with any certainty how the fire started, if it was intentional, but they revealed that the wife had a temporary restraining order against the husband at the time of her death. Let's see. San Diego Police Department Homicide Lieutenant Chris Tavarian said, and I quote, "It's not clear what the nature of what caused the woman's death, whether she was hit by the truck, whether she was deceased naturally already inside the house, or if she passed from some other type of means. It's not clear if the crash triggered the fire, if it was set intentionally. We don't know that yet. Wow. Now, that Slender Man stabber, Morgan Geyser, she's been ordered back to a psychiatric hospital after that group home escape. So, the county circuit judge K. Scott Wagner approved a request from the State Department of Health Services to revoke the 23-year-old Morgan Geyser's release privileges. Geyser was being held at the Waukesha County Jail after being extradited from Illinois following her escape from the Yo-Yo quality. Isn't that funny? Their name is the Yo-Yo, and then she was in and out of there. Oh my gosh. The Yo-Yo Quality Care Group home on November 22nd, but wasn't reported missing until the early morning hours of November 23rd. Later that day, she was found at a truck stop in Illinois with a 43-year-old man, Chad Mecca. Okay, so Anthony Colton, Geyser's attorney, wrote a letter to Wagner that his client should be in a mental health facility and not jail. Given that she has no new criminal charges in Waukesha County, and given that she has been previously found not guilty by reason of a mental disease or a defect on the underlying offense, it is our position that she should be housed in a mental health facility, not a correctional institution. Geyser was granted conditional release in January after she spent nearly 8 years at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. So looks like she's going back. She's going back as she should. She shouldn't be in a group home. She abused that privilege. She got an early release, right? It was an early release, and she totally abused it, escaped, and there's no way she should be back in a group home. But now they're going to send her back to the psychiatric unit, and just, yeah, she shouldn't have been. Oh my goodness, she shouldn't have been there, no. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the chat real fast. I'm also going to try to hi, Billy Boy. How are you doing, Billy Boy? You just can't. What happened? Wait, what's going on? Hold the phone, guys. Let me see what you're saying. Hi, I see you. You see me. How are you? Okay, what's Billy saying? I'll hold mommy ramblings in contempt of being awesome sauce. He has crazy eyes. Okay, yep, he has McCrazy eyes. All right, so Billy Boy says, hi, 16. Hi, I don't even remember now if you're 61 or 61 right now. What is going on? Some people, Using your vehicle as a weapon. Oh, yeah, that one, right? Okay, real talk. Can we just agree real quick that some dudes just shouldn't get married? Yeah, probably. Or is that totally out of order? No, absolutely. And there's some women that shouldn't be married either, Billy Boy. Don't you agree? Right? They don't know how to have a proper relationship. And if their problem solving skills are when a relationship breaks down or breaks up, that they go and think that the correct thing to do is to take that other person's life, right? Or take the life of children to get back at them. Do you think that, like, they're fit to have a relationship? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know where they're getting. It's sad. We watched a movie last night, a documentary, and it's sad. There's a lot of people that grow up in such shattered heart. I was very surprised you were not up at the end of that. I don't think I've ever been to one movie night where you have not been up at the end of a movie. Never, I don't think, in all of the time you've been here. I was shocked. I told Jen. And Amy, I don't think, was up either. And it was only Jen and I that I think made it through that. But that was just such a broken, I mean, that one, oh, can't even, yeah. And a lot of times I think we just don't even understand how broken some people's lives are that before they've even started. It's like before they've even started, they have so much against them that it's unbelievable how much against them they have, you know? And yet there are some people, you know, you just can't say that everybody that has odds stacked against them, because we all know, you know, probably for as many horror stories, horrific stories, you know, stories of people that have beat all odds, people that have had horrific circumstances, have been abused, had a horrible home life, this, that, and the other thing, and turned out to be stellar people, right? So, but it's hard. It's really hard. With all that, you dozed off for a bit, and you missed maybe the last tiny bit. Oh, okay. I was very shocked. I don't think I've ever made it to the end of something and you were not up. Very surprised. Very surprised. But that was a hard watch. But I think it was very informative of a lot of things. And I know where Amy's Justice League is. Amy's Justice League, where are you? Amy's Justice League. You just, okay. Let's see what else is going on. I was just wondering where Amy's Justice League is, but I don't think she's here yet. Okay. Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on. I just saw something. Hold on, you guys. We've got breaking news. Breaking freaking news right now. Hold on. Okay, we know what tomorrow night is, right? New Year's Eve. And it's saying now that New Year's Eve events canceled around the world as an urgent warning is issued. What is going on? Because my cousin is supposed to be in this tomorrow. Let's see what's being called off, okay? I know it's not New York City because all the preparations are there. So New Year's Eve celebrations are being called off in cities worldwide as local authorities grapple with terror threats in places ranging from Sydney to Paris. Thousands of individuals that were hoping to ring in the year 2026 had their plans busted, as reports of planned terror attacks have led to the cancellation of parties, fireworks, and live events just days or a day before December 31st. Now, New York City still plans to drop its New Year's Eve ball in Times Square, which has been drastically changed for this year. Let's see what the changes. The wave of cancellations began after the FBI uncovered a planned bombing attack in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. Did you guys know about this? Why didn't you tell me? No. Did you guys know about this? I didn't know about this. Agents were able to... I knew that there was something a while ago that was... maybe this is the attack, because I heard something like a while ago that they had said they were going to do something in Los Angeles. I don't know if I realized it was on New Year's Eve. Agents were able to apprehend the 4 suspects during a mock run-through of their attack in the Mojave Desert, because I remember talking about the Mojave Desert, just outside of the city. It comes, let's see, terrorist attack. California. Hold on a minute. Let me see what the hell's going on here. First Assistant U.S. Attorney presented drone surveillance footage at a press conference earlier this month showing the suspect's attempt to assemble a bomb in the desert. Yes, we did talk about this one. Okay. Okay. The suspects were identified as Audrey Eileen Carroll, 30 years old, Zachary Aaron Page, 32 years old, Dante Gaffield, 24 years old, and Tina Lay, 41, all residents of Los Angeles. Despite that, Los Angeles has not officially canceled any of its New Year's Eve events. However, same cannot be said for other parts of the world. Let's see what's happening. Sydney. Following the Bondi Beach shooting that claimed 15 lives and injured 40 others, Australia's largest city has called off its fireworks display on the popular beach, which typically draws crowds of over 15,000 people. Organizers at the Waverly Council have confirmed the cancellations. They told Sky News, due to the current situation on the ground, Waverly Council has decided to cancel New Year's Eve events at Bondi Beach. Okay. Bondi Beach, Elro, XXL, Bondi, and Locals Lawn. They further explained the decision was made with compassion and care for Sydney's Jewish community following the shooting incident 2 weeks prior. Australia's current national terrorism threat level is probable, indicating that there are a small number of individuals, both within Australia and abroad, who intend to harm the country. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns cautioned that the Jewish community is still not entirely safe due to the persistent threat of anti-Semitism. He stated, the real test for us will be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now, when the Jewish community feels safe in their community. Paris. In Paris, the city's popular music event has been canceled due to police concerns, as reported by the Parisian outlet Centre Paris. Police have implored the mayor to cancel the concert that draws tens of thousands due to concerns about potential crowd crushes. Despite the event's cancellation, the city's primary fireworks display will proceed as planned. In Tokyo, they were compelled to follow Paris's lead in canceling one of its largest New Year's Eve events, nixing the countdown outside the city's iconic Shibuya Station. This decision was made due to comparable fears of stampedes and crushing from the thousands of people expected to attend the main event. Local reports have indicated that the mayor has canceled the event over concerns about public drinking. Okay. So that's what's looking. New York is still on, but they're saying that it's changed this year. Well, it's been drastically changed. Let's see how drastic it has been changed. I don't know that it's been drastically changed. Fans of the tradition can rejoice and take part in the larger-than-life celebration. The 2026 Times Square New Year's Eve ball is bigger, more stunning than ever, adorned with exactly 5,280 Waterford crystals. This year's ball is dubbed the Constellation Ball, featuring mesmerizing circular Waterford crystal discs on its surface, a change from the previous triangular crystals. The design features 3 different disc sizes, each adorned with an intricate pattern and twice the amount of crystals compared to its predecessors. According to Waterford, this year's crystal discs symbolize infinite joy, infinite light, and infinite beginnings, reflecting radiant optimism from every angle. Okay. The Times Square New Year's Eve ball represents hope, unity, and new beginnings. For well over a century, the iconic symbol has brought people together from all over the world to celebrate the turning of the calendar, first with enthusiasm for the year ahead. Filled with enthusiasm for the year ahead. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. So we'll see how that goes, right? Is that tomorrow night? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is it tomorrow night? No, wait. What's today? Yes, it is. It's tonight. Oh my gosh. So my son and daughter is there too, of course. But I know my daughter's not going to Times Square, and I don't know what Ethan has plans to do. That's crazy. Okay. But we'll see. Lorenzo's going to Times Square. All right. Let me go back to the chat. See what's going on here. Hi, Twisted Stitches. How are you? You're pumped, hi? What are you pumped about? You keep putting the needle in backwards. So you got your sewing machine? Just another day for me, says hi. Yeah, just another New Year's Eve, another night like all the rest. It's just another New Year's Eve. Let's make it the best. You know who sings that, right? Barry Manilow. Just another old lang syne. Just another New Year's Eve. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? What else do we want to talk about tonight? Should we talk about what? No big surprise. The 29th came and went, and I wasn't paid on that box, even anything that person promised me they would pay. First they promised on the 20th, and then they promised on the 29th, and both dates came and went, and they did not pay for the stuff that they bought. So that's interesting. So leading it more that it was a setup, especially when I'm also hearing that when I never mentioned anyone's name, who it was, or anything about it, people that are obsessed with me and can't stop talking about me are mentioning the person's name who did it. Not nice, right, Jen? That's very interesting, isn't it? Kind of speaks more of the setup that I was told by that friend of mine, given the names that were connected on that page. And it's no one that's in this chat. The person's not here. They haven't been here. So anybody that's in this chat, please don't get yourselves that anybody's talking about any but of you, because it's not any of you. Yeah. But that was almost a give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves kind of moment. Because how would they know who it was? Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Isn't that special? Okay. So, yeah, 29th came and went. So I will be re-auctioning those items. Yeah, I don't follow them either, but I have people that tell me certain things, and take screenshots of certain things that affect our business, that affected 3 sellers on this channel, that affected people's sales on this channel, people's holidays on this channel. You know, it was a rotten thing to do. It really was. And you know who you are that did it, and you know who you are that arranged it. And great way to start the new year, right? Like being a creep. Okay, so it is to have nothing better to do than try to hurt people, sellers on the channel, isn't that? And then to be found out, and then the person put along this farce of, oh, this, and gave me a date, I'll do this then, I'll do this then, I'll do this date, I won't leave you hanging, I won't leave the sellers hanging, I won't do that, I'm a good person, yada, 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 yada. And then those dates came and went, and the person never fulfilled their end of the bargain. So it's all right. Put all that time. Yeah, put all that time. A lot of that stuff was handcrafted. A lot of time and effort went into it. A lot of other people, a lot of other sellers. And then I know there's one other seller that sent the stuff out and didn't intercept it like I did. And it was a very expensive endeavor to do that. And I have all the receipts from it with Pirate Ship and UPS. And pretty crappy. Yeah, it pissed us off. Especially when the person is like sitting there messaging with me and telling me all these, making all these promises, telling me all this stuff, and they're going to take care of this, and they're going to take care of that. And nothing. You know, let's see. Oh, boy. And even had the audacity to post something about on their channel that the 29th, the day that we were promised to be paid, was a day that you're supposed to handle unfinished business before going into the new year, because you don't want this unfinished business going into the new year. So they had the audacity to post something like that. So I just think that's pretty bad. And I've got to check with that other seller for her to check her tracking. Let me see here. Quickly. Welcome to New York. Got this song, Welcome to New York, in my head. I can't stop. Okay. All right. I just had to send a little message. Let me see, Twisted. You didn't get your other box. Let me check your tracking on your other box. I only have one box out to you. Maybe you're talking about Sassy, because we didn't ship the other one, remember? Let me check the tracking while I'm here on your box. I thought you got that. No, huh? Let me check. Let me check while I'm here. Check the tracking and see when it's expected. You're still in the hospital, Twisted? All right, let's see here. All right, so you're over here. Still says in transit. Let's see when they're going to think that's going to be delivered. That's taking an awfully long time. All right, let's see. It says it's arrived at the facility, Twisted. It's in Canada, it looks like. It's been in Canada since December 23rd, it says. It's processed through the facility. It says it went through customs and it's arrived at the facility. That's what it's saying, and that's not changing. So please have your husband check that. Saying that it's arrived at the facility. What does that mean? It's been at the facility from the 23rd to the 29th. I'm going to send a picture of this to your email so you can maybe send it off to your husband and have him check on this. All right, let me do that. I'm going to send that to you right now. Okay, package info is the subject, and I'm going to send this off to you so you can share that with your husband and figure out what's going on, right? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. I know, Sassy. Okay, yeah, I just sent it to you. All right, yep, because it says it's at the facility, so I don't know what if that means. Really not sure, but I'm sure he can check with whatever postal service you have there. Like he'll be able to see it with that. Okay. Still in the hospital for the rest of the week, so you'll be bringing in the new year from the hospital. Oh boy, have you ever spent New Year's Eve in the hospital, Twisted? Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Yeah, I can't believe it. Tomorrow at this time, it'll be 2026, huh? Oh, brother. Right? All right. And I don't know. So what else is going on? You spent about 2 weeks in the hospital when you collapsed your lung. That's the most time you ever spent in the hospital, I said. Yeah, spending time in the hospital is not fun, right? What else is going on? What else is going on? My daughter's cat is getting so attached to Ethan. Oh my gosh. She's like, Mom, every time I'm doing anything, the cat is like laying up against me. Oh my gosh. Smidgers. Yep. So, what else? What else? What else? Let's see if anybody wants to come on the panel or something. I don't know. Yes, we're done with true crime. We're done with, we're going to leave the festivities up here. Festivities. Let me see. Let me see. Anybody wants to come up and say anything about what they're doing, or if they have resolutions, or they just want to say anything, please do. Please feel free. I don't know where. Hang on a moment. I don't know why I can't see. Okay, there I can. Copy invite. Copy invites. Oh, good. got a visit in Zoom from a Rambler who's been MIA, and they're MIA because they're in the hospital. But now, ever since this person said, oh, we have to go get permission before we can say prayers or anything. So I'll say, just keep the community in your prayers, everyone, and then I know, yeah, that she would be fine with it. But this person's got me on like high alert now. So. You spent about 2 weeks in the hospital. I don't know why my video keeps going behind. Carolyn, will you look into the Saturday Night Live writer? Yeah, I did talk about that. Yeah, I did talk about that once. Heart Made Wise, the sister, right, went missing. And I don't think that there's any, let me see. Jimmy Fowley is begging for tips as the search for his missing sister, Christina Lynn Downer, continues frantically in LA's Koreatown. My sister is still missing. This is not like her. She's never gone off the grid like this, he wrote on his Instagram late on Sunday. He's pleading for tips in the hunt for his missing sister. She vanished from Los Angeles. She looks like so many people I've already seen today, and I mean, I've seen them online in various YouTube channels, and she's got a very familiar face. Let me see if I can get. Very familiar face, right? Hope she's found. I don't know what. Been missing, I think, more than a month or so, huh? And missed Christmas, New Year's is coming up. That's got to be very troublesome for someone that's never gone off the grid like that. You know, it's got to be super scary. Super scary. Missing persons case remains active. Detectives with the LAPD said, let's see. She was last seen in the Koreatown area of Los Angeles. She is described as 5'1", black hair, brown eyes. And he last heard from his sister on November 26th. He has emphasized that she's rarely without her dog Rex, a miniature pincer. If you see her, chances are he'd be with her. The case has drawn a wave of attention from the entertainment world, with actors and comedians amplifying Fowley's post, sharing his missing person flyers, and urging followers to help spread the word. So here's another. She may have curly hair. Christina Lynn Downer, age 38 years old. Uh-oh, what's going on here? There we go, right there. Let's see. The post prompted concern from followers who noted the odd timing giving her missing status. More recently, another Instagram user commented that the December 14th image appears to be a repost of an older Instagram, suggesting the post may not reflect new activity. Okay, hold on. What are they talking about? Wait a minute. They said that somebody posted something on her Instagram December 14th. Is that what they're saying? Confusion around Downer's social media activity has been complicated. An Instagram post dated December 14th after she had already been reported missing read, "Living life in peace. If you want to send me a Christmas treat, I'll be waiting. Happy holidays, everyone." Oh, okay. The post prompted concern from followers who noted the odd timing given her missing status. More recently, another Instagram user commented that the December 14th image appears to be a repost of an older Instagram story highlight that was originally shared in June, suggesting the post may not reflect new activity. It's unclear if Downer or someone else posted the old photo, but Fowley said detectives have advised the family not to share certain details about the post publicly so as not to compromise the investigation. Family members are working closely with the police, assisting with canvassing and outreach, and remain in constant contact with detectives as the search continues. Fowley will thank those who have helped circulate his sister's information, and said he will continue sharing updates as they become available. Okay, so that is that. All right, let me just get back to the chat. Did you hear from Chrissy? I did not hear from Chrissy. I have not heard from Chrissy. Have you been getting notifications from Paul Kim, a Catholic influencer in California, pleading for prayers for his son, who is extremely ill in the hospital? Have you been getting notifications? I don't believe so, no. I do not believe so. Paul Kim? I don't think I've ever heard of Paul Kim. Let me see. Catholic speaker and comedian. As he's on life support. I heard about another person's son who, an influencer's son, was on life support, but maybe it was, no, I don't think it was this person. I think it was another person. They had a young son, I think, on life support. Remember we talked about it, but they had brain activity, which was good. Do you guys remember that the other night? But I thought we talked about one like that. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know, went to sleep with this crazy thing I heard last night. So let's see, what do we have here? Influencer Paul Kim gives an update on his son who's on life support. And if I could see it, that would be good. Let me see. Micah, I think I did talk about Micah. Maybe I did. See, sometimes let me see. Micah is sharing, Paul Kim is sharing an update about his 5-year-old son, Micah, on life support. He's a fighter. His vitals are steady. His lungs are on a respirator, but slowly getting stronger. His kidney needs help. Please pray for God's divine intervention on that today. He wrote on Instagram on the 28th, keep praying hard for that miracle. God commands us to pray and not grow weary. Yeah, I think maybe I did talk about this. Everything is turning into a blur. Today I could have sworn Jimmy did something that he said, no, he did that. It was yesterday morning. I'm like, what? Okay, I swore it was like this afternoon. It's so crazy. All right. Let's see. Keep praying hard for that miracle. All right, let me see. This seems like an older update. So let's see if something's newer. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 17 hours ago. We are broken but trusting for the sake of his sorrowful passion. Have mercy on us and our whole world. Influencer Paul Kim says son Micah needs a miracle to survive a medical emergency. Catholic influencer Paul Kim revealed on Instagram days before Christmas that his 5-year-old son Micah had undergone an unexpected medical emergency at the time. He asked fans and followers for prayers. With each update on his son's condition, he asked for more prayers to help uplift his son and ask God to heal him. Now, many want to know what happened that resulted in the medical emergency in the first place. And Paul first posted about his son on Instagram on December 21st. His post contained text on the screen that said his son was having a medical emergency and that he was at that time being taken to the hospital in an ambulance. He asked for prayers for his son's healing. He later shared more updates and received an outpouring of support from longtime followers and even celebrities who have watched his content. Okay, let's see now. Per a Catholic news agency, Paul's son, Micah's emergency involved internal bleeding. Paul has not shared more details. Paul wrote that Micah was in the ER and not doing well. Some wondered if Micah had other health issues. Paul shared updates. He shared that Micah's kidneys were in danger on December 29th. He posted a video where he tells followers that doctors would perform a test the following morning to determine Micah's brain activity levels. He also said that he feels Micah's health emergency will serve a bigger purpose someday. Paul then asked his followers for prayers. See, the one that we saw, I remember they said that the child had brain activity. I'm trying to remember who that was, if it was another influencer or if it's this. I don't know. He says, please pray for God to give my wife and I the utmost clarity in what his will is and the peace to accept it with joy and surrender. Please continue praying for a miracle until God decides otherwise. We know who we are and whose we are. He wouldn't share further details about what happened before Micah was rushed to the ER or what might have caused the internal bleeding. He and his wife Maggie share 6 children. His content is often centered around sharing his faith and details about his family through his videos and photos. I don't see, I'm not seeing much. Let me see if there's. "11 hours, he's on life support." Now they're saying that, is this, no, is that him? No. I think there's another influencer's daughter. Oh, maybe that was the one. Yeah, something like that, right? Oh, sounded so similar. So similar. Okay. And let me get something here. Hold on a minute. Okay. Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute, please. Ow. So the number is in, I think I put the number in Slack. Hope it did. Okay. What else is going on? What time is it? 3. What freak time is it? 3:30? Better probably. What time did I get on? 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Been on for 2 hours. I had a goal up there. We thank you for the channel support. That are, if you're a member, thank you for your channel support. If you're a Patreon, thank you for the channel support. If you give us super chats or you send to any of the other things, we thank you for that. The channel exists with that type of funding, and it's essential. So we do thank you for that. And, if we bring you a place to hang out and information and just add to, quality of your life or whatever, because you meet people and you have a community here, that's what we're doing. Carolyn, did you get the P-Ridge photo? P-Ridge photo, did you send it to my Mommy Ramblings email? Let me see. Hold on, let me check that email. No, that's not what I want. Okay. I don't know what I just did there, but I want to go here. That's not there. Where the heck is my... Okay, there's my blue. Let's see what we got here. Welcome to New York. Oh boy. Okay, wait a minute. I got something from yesterday. Let me see. Yesterday. This is the event that I just came back from. Last event of the year that was held in Missouri. Okay, and we can show these photos. We have your permission. Let's see. Let me make this larger. Come on. There's that one. And hang on. There's the other one. Civil War reenactment, right? Okay, very nice. And let me see. And then there's this one. And that. And that's Arkansas. (1862). Colorado, Pea Ridge. I think that's the end of that one. So let's see. Okay. Well, oh, is that what you were saying about the horses, right? I believe that's what you said about the horses. pictures. Okay. I think that's all of them now. Let me see. Come on. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do, do, do. That was it. All right, so okay. Okay. I think did I accidentally just shut you down. I mean, shut Chrome down. Pull it over here so I can get back on YouTube. So I just shut everything down by accident. Oh. Okay, where'd we go? I think that was the last photo. Okay, what did you say? I can send more photos. Thank you for showing the P. Rich photos off. I think that was the last photo. Was the flyer. Okay, yeah. Cool photos. Last event of the year. Last event of the year. When does it start up again? When does it start up again? Oh, I'm not in live chat for some reason. I don't know why. Just restarted and it didn't put me in live chat. Silly, silly little thing. Silly little thing. You think the Civil War events start in the spring? Probably. You're not going to go out in the cold, cold winter, right? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? I don't know who wants to do that. It's too cold. It's so windy here and everything. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, I'll tell you. I hear the wind chimes. I hear the wind chimes. I hear the wind chimes. My vitamin C here. So tomorrow is the last day, today, whatever, of 2025. How many people are going into 2026 with their miserable selves, as miserable as they have been all of last year and the year before that and the year before that? Plenty, probably. They don't feel any need to change. Sad. Sad, 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 but what are you going to do? 'Tis the streets of YouTube. Don't be one of them. Don't stoop to their level. Rise above. Tomorrow I'm definitely doing some watercolor. Oh, and I found out it wasn't 18 months since my watercolor. Saw it on my Instagram. It was a year. And that's a year since I posted, but I could have done it even. I think I made some roses while I was sitting here one night. I knew it wasn't that long ago. Now I'm drawing flowers. "2026 will be a great year. You can feel it? Let's hope so, Rosalita. Let's hope so." Let's hope. Well, the waterfall is acrylic. Yes, that you're right, Super Chat. That was acrylic painting. I'm talking about watercolor. But I did do some watercolor. Trying to think. Did do something else. I know I did. But I don't know why I got my head into that. I wasn't. But at least I got everything all ready to go. And wanted to paint with this guy. He does these paintings all the time. I told you I want to do a collab with him. But I wanted to do some of these watercolors. I wanted to do the 12 days of watercolors, and I didn't get to do it. I want to do it, though. You know? Maybe something fun in January. To chase the January doldrums away. So let's do something fun. So as you enter 2020, as you enter 2026, instead of making a resolution, see if you can think of 3 ways that you're entering 2026 better than you entered 2025. Do you know what I mean? 3 things. I'm going to do them too. I can think that. I'll tell you mine. I'm entering 2026 better than I was entering 2025 because I don't have that lawsuit looming over my head. We prevailed with God's, all the glory is God on that. Second thing is I go in with protection, that this channel is an LLC. Blog, everything encompasses is the LLC, Mommy Ramblings LLC. And no more am I vulnerable to someone suing Mommy Ramblings channel or any of its entities, and my personal assets being endangered. So that's another way I'm entering 2026 better than I entered 2025. And the third way is that the channel has more subscribers than it did when I entered 2025. It's has more videos. It's grown consistently. It's growing consistently. It's bouncing back from a lawsuit that spanned 2 years that sapped my creativity, that was hugely stressful for my entire family, that impacted me, that I could not create the way that I wanted to create. And I'm going into 2026 without that. So that's the third way that things are better going in to 2026 than they were going into 2025 for myself, my family. What about you guys? Is anybody out there? Okay, very good, guys. It looks great. Those are all good things. Terrific. Hold on a minute, I'm going to get something. Oh, boy. Well, I am entering 2026 lighter in mind and body. Great. Rosalita said she had a good 2025 and she just feels 2026 will be even better. Super chat's faith is stronger. Yeah, so is mine. That's another thing. So is mine. Much stronger. Good job. Good, good, good. Well, I think we're going to call it a night because it's almost 4 o'clock. And maybe I'll try to come on in the afternoon and do some watercolor, something before the new year, and then I'll see what's going on and happening. We cooked a turkey dinner tonight. I made stuffing and all that stuff. Now I'm eating a gingerbread tree. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. God bless. Prayers. Thanks for coming in. See you tomorrow. God willing. Prayers for all that need them, and there's a lot of ramblers that need them, so keep them coming.